Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am working in the Girls and Flowers book. I think this is a Korean coloring book. They are a little bit smaller in size, and I thought it would be a fun one to start. This one, and you have the original artwork with it as well, which is very helpful, especially when, you know, I'm struggling a little bit with what colors I want to use. I feel like I really kind of learn a lot when I go off of the books that have the original artwork with it. Like, I really kind of based a lot of this one off of the colors from here, and I really like doing that. I think it's really fun. I have a lot of Prismacolor set to the side here, like purple and some pinks. So I'm going to try to kind of follow along to how they have her dress, but I still am kind of going to go about it the way I want to. But this is neon pink, and I'm just going to kind of start very lightly, adding that kind of in there, along kind of in the deeper folds of the fabric. But of course, as soon as I sat down, there was it started thundering, so I hope I'll get to continue with this video. My dogs kind of bark. They don't always bark, but they do bark some of the time when it's thundering real good outside. So I guess if y'all don't mind a little bit of dog barking, I kind of will keep going. And I'm sorry if y'all can hear the thunder. It's been off and on for quite a few days now. Okay, I got a little bit of that neon pink down, and I'm going to go in. This is the new purple color, one of them. It's Orchid, and I got to sharpen it. It's just, you know, a very pale purple color. I just kind of want those tones to be kind of together, the light purple and the bright pink, and kind of go from there. It'll probably look kind of weird for a little while. Then this is just pink, just kind of go in and blend those together a little bit. Neon pink. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes to really get kind of the hang of how I want to color certain sections. So I'm kind of slow at the start, but once I figure it out, I get a little bit more confident and faster at coloring the rest of like the clothing and stuff. It just depends. But there's always that little bit where you're kind of trying to figure out what you're doing, at least for me. And then I'm going back in with Orchid. And I'm just being very light-handed with these colors. I don't know if I want to. I thought about going in with the seashell pink, but I don't think that's what color I want to go for. So I'm gonna find my white Prisma. Okay, I have a white Prisma here. I'm just going to add that in the center. I'm not really adding too much pressure on this, just kind of taking this like a pass over the whole section here. And I'll probably go in and touch up with and I'm taking the Orchid and kind of using that a little bit more as like for the shading. Clear it off a little, and then this is neon pink. Okay, I think that looks nice, and then I kind of want to go in with the white Prisma and then do a little bit more blending, kind of smoothing those colors out. And just trying to make it look a little bit more like fabric. Clearing it off as I go. All the stuff that kind of falls off the pencil. Don't want to get too much of that kind of embedded in what I'm trying to smooth out. Okay, I think that is a good start. I wanted it to be really pale and purple, like pinky color. I know it looks quite a bit different from this, but for me, I think I like that better because, you know, it's very opaque in some of these areas, and I don't know, this is kind of more how I color. So I'm just going to go about doing that to these folds here. Taking neon pink, adding that kind of all over the area. Just where, you know, I think it needs it. My dogs are actually being pretty good, but of course, as soon as I say that, they'll probably start barking. I'm going to see for this little part of the fabric how much I like just using the white Prisma, the orchid, and the neon pink. And any light purple color you have will be, you know, a good substitute for that orchid if you don't have that one. If you wanted to kind of use this same combo for anything. So this is the orchid, and I'm just lightly adding that kind of into the mix here. I'm doing a little bit more shading with it. Underneath the fabric here, you know, would be a little darker. Okay, go in with a little more neon pink. Very light-handed. And just see how I like these colors with just the three instead of adding pink in there. Okay. And because, you know, I'm extra, I'm going to do just one more pass of this orchid. Then taking Prisma white, just kind of trying to blend them together. Taking my time, and maybe, you know, working with a little bit more pressure. It is definitely brighter using just those colors. Only slightly brighter though, it's not too much of a difference. Okay. Trying to decide. I don't think it looks that much different. I think I used more purple in this part and more hot pink in that one. Or I keep saying hot pink, neon pink. But I'm gonna, you know, just work with it as I go. The section that's kind of all the way along here in this like in between part, it looks blue. So I was thinking about going in with this violet blue and just kind of getting that color down that way. You know, I know this is a different color, so very light-handed with it. I'm gonna place that in the center here. This is violet blue, if I didn't say. Okay, it looks like it also is kind of on the inside of this fabric here. I think that's all the blue I can find on her outfit. So that's a good start. I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. And just keep working on this parts of the fabric and kind of going from there, starting with neon pink. I hadn't planned on working in this book this month, but I recently did a video where it's been a year since I've done a completed, shared my entire, completed coloring pages with y'all, and so I was kind of looking through all my books while I did that, and I don't know, I really wanted to color in this one. So some of the books I plan to color in this month might be, where I don't get around to them because I've found some other books that kind of just, and they kind of, you see how you want to color something and just draw your attention more than others, and that's kind of what happened with this one. So I have the neon pink down, and this is orchid, and I'm going to try to go very lightly in with that. Okay. Oh, drop my pencil. Got it though. Take a neon pink again. just adding that. To blend that and the orchid together. I don't know why it's like making marks right there. And then taking orchid and just kind of going in and adding a shadow to kind of the folds of the fabric. And this time using a little bit more pressure so we get a good color payoff. Neon pink. And then the white prisma. And I'm just probably going to do this section of fabric and then move on to something else. Just so you know, I'm not just working on this one thing. Don't want to bore y'all. And lightly going in with orchid. Again with the neon pink. And then orchid again with a little bit of shading along the edge of the section of fabric we're working on. And maybe one more pass with the neon pink. Don't know why, it's hard to tell probably, but the pencil is kind of building up on certain areas. So I'm sure it's something I'm doing wrong, but so far it's working out fine, so I'm not too worried about it. Give my pencil a sharpen. Okay, so going in with the white. a small amount of pressure at first, and then I'll add a little bit more pressure as I really kind of smooth those colors together. Okay, so now I'm going to start using a lot more pressure, starting around the edges, working my way down to the center. Might want to clear it off a little bit. I think that the storm has kind of passed, you know, so there shouldn't be any more thunder, so my dogs probably hopefully won't bark too much more. I did just a tiny bit of coloring on this section of the fabric, but I haven't blended it out yet. But I'm really liking how it's turning out here on her sleeve. I think it looks really pretty, and I can't wait to kind of see how it turns out. Over here, I'm kind of going off of this, you know, and this kind of yellow flowers and designs, and then also it kind of looks like a faint, almost like a jade green color right in there. So I'm gonna try to do the same over here, but I think I'm gonna start with jade green and kind of just do the lightest layer of that along this parts of the dress. It kind of looks like it's a little bit right here. So it is very helpful with learning, especially, you know, an intricate design like this, kind of what is what, you know. And then I'm just going to add that also to this section. It's very helpful in figuring that out. It's kind of right here as well. Okay, I have picked out sunburst yellow and then canary yellow, and I'm just going to use these for kind of that yellow flowers and, you know, goldish color we got going on. Just gonna take the sunburst yellow and add this kind of around parts of this trim here. I'm not being very precise, you know. I just want to get that little bit of that darker color down. But it's such a small area that, you know, there's not too much you can do. And then this is canary yellow. So I'm just going to run that on the rest of the trim here. And mine might end up being a lot brighter than, you know, the other side, but that's fine with me. I do like bright colors. So it's very small, but I kind of worked that into there as best I could. Hope that my lighting's okay. but I really like it. I think it's looking really nice. And also these little flower designs are the same kind of yellow color. So I'm going to take Sunburst and just kind of run that along the edge of the flower petals. And then go in with Canary Yellow, very lightly, adding that yellow. And then you have kind of, this also is that kind of yellow, goldish orange color. It does make this part go a little bit faster knowing that you can use the same color for everything. And it almost looks like the yellow is glowing a little bit on that side. But I don't know, we'll see when I get everything put in on here, if I want to do that or not. It's been a very long time since I colored in this book. And taking Canary Yellow, adding that. Almost want to go in with a more subtle yellow, so I'm going to try and see how I kind of finish blending those out with this Deco Yellow. I like that. It's looking good, just adding a little bit here and a little bit there. And then kind of blending everything together with Deco Yellow. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way so I can get in there a little bit easier with doing this part. And Deco Yellow. I really like that. I'm getting excited. I think it's turning out really pretty, and having a lot of fun working on it. This part here in the center, is also a really kind of yellow color. I'm taking sunburst yellow. Around the edge there, and then just, you know, the same process with canary yellow, and then blending them together with deco yellow. And something that's going to be a little bit of a challenge is over here, this like headpiece is a little bit of a sheer fabric, and this one is pretty much solid, so I haven't really decided if I want to, you know, go in with to make that a solid or a sheer fabric. So I'm kind of, I got deco yellow and then lemon yellow. I think maybe I will just lay those down, kind of outline around the line work here, and just kind of see what I end up deciding. So I'm taking deco yellow, and I'm just going to trace that those lines out, and then just taking a little bit of lemon yellow, leaving enough space white so if I decide to go in and draw parts of that flower, you know, in there, then I can do that. But for now, I'm just going to outline everything with these two colors. Lemon yellow. Go ahead and do the same over here. And then taking lemon yellow just to kind of add that dimension in there. It's very, very yellow, but maybe it'll turn out okay once we kind of take white or maybe cream to blend those colors out. Might tone them down a little bit, and I might end up making those solid because I'm not really sure what I'm doing exactly yet with those. I wish I could do a beautiful background like that with all the glowing, kind of almost looks like sparks floating around her, you know, but I don't even almost know how to go about that. But one step at a time, you know. So I've got a lot of her outfit done. I guess since I have these yellows out, I'm going to go ahead and continue working on the gold part over here. So we have the sunburst yellow and canary yellow, and then I might blend those out with the deco yellow. think I got everything. And then canary yellow. I've really been to talk about a little bit about things to do with the channel. I've been debating on, you know, doing a color along. I kind of like these Let's Color videos because they're just a little bit more relaxed and, you know, just kind of having fun doing some coloring and starting a page, or, you know, working on a work in progress. But the color alongs, you know, are very long videos, and I don't know if, you know, y'all like the long videos or not, but I don't know, I'm gonna just try and my best, you know, with doing those. Maybe I'll pick a page and just kind of only color it on the camera and just post, you know, as I finish it a little at a time. But I don't know, I'm just kind of, you know, still figuring those out. So I got all the yellow laid down, and I got that jade kind of going in the back of that part there. She does have a lot of hair, and I do want to color her hair like dark colored like that. And then the flowers I thought would be really pretty with maybe a hint of pink, but using seashell pink and then kind of like maybe peach beige or something like that, and then blending those out. But still kind of going back and forth with what colors I want to use for that. So I guess we'll work on a section of her hair, and I'm going to go ahead and get those colors ready. Okay, I got some pretty interesting colors chosen for the hair. I definitely am using the black, you know, and then I got espresso, and then the next color is 90% French gray, and then kind of going to try to see what it looks like if I take putty beige to blend those out. I've never done that before, so it's going to be kind of a learning process. So I'm going to start with my black. I always start with the darkest color when doing hair, and kind of adding that. First, and I like working in sections, so this will either work out or it'll look terrible, but maybe it'll look okay. And you can kind of lightly add a few of those black lines all the way through. And then I'm going in with espresso, starting where I started with the black for the most part, you know, and just bringing my way just a little bit closer in, kind of closing that white space area. And then I do like to do a little bit more touching up with the black, just really close to you know, where you started, because I want that to be the darkest section of the hair. So where I've started, kind of laying that in, I'm just going to go over that once more, and then taking French gray 90% and not starting all the way back, but, you know, just about halfway down, adding that also into the section we're working on. If this makes sense, I don't know. I try to explain things, but I don't think I explain them very well, so I hope to get better at it. Alright, so we layered that in, and you can kind of tell I've left just the faintest of spots in the center of that section of hair. And so this is where I'm going to start with the putty beige. Kind of lightly at first, adding that in the center, and then a little bit more pressure and kind of blending them all together. I think it looks really good. I've never really used these colors together, but you know, it's kind of on, you know, the example here, it's really, everything's faint. So, I don't know, I just wanted to see if I could do a similar, you know, effect. And you can just go in and add a little bit more of black to it. A little bit more French gray. Just trying to get that looking like it's hair, you know, and then just a tiny bit more putty beige. And just work with it, you know, a little at a time until you like how it turned out, is usually what I try to do. And of course, you know, the first few sections you do are always the, you know, the slowest and most time consuming, because trying to figure out, you know, how you want to lay down all those colors, and each hair is different, you know, it's drawn differently. There's a lot of different styles, and so it just takes a little bit of getting used to. But I really like that. I think it turned out nice. I guess I'll kind of work on finishing up this section here and starting again with black. Just kind of mapping out my section of hair I'm wanting to work on. So kind of go with this small area here. I'm getting a little messy with it. Okay, so then espresso, and it is a very dark gray brown color. So it makes it like really dark hair, but with hints of brown and gray in it, without being, you know, all gray colors. I just like how it breaks up dark hair. And then 90% French gray. And then putty beige. Okay. And, you know, later we can go in with white and maybe do a little bit more highlighting. I don't know if it'll turn out good though, but maybe we'll see how that looks as well in the small part here. Does make it look a little bit brighter, but I don't know, I like the putty beige, so I'm going to stick with that and stop second guessing myself. Let's work on this here. There's a bit of like a hair gap here, so I guess I'll leave it like, you know, they have it drawn out. Doing some outlining around her clothes. It's kind of hard to figure out what that is. Huh, I think it's just hair. I know I get a little too close to the picture when I'm coloring. But you know, sometimes you want to make sure you're not going a little too far into other parts and different elements of the page, because I have done that before. I've got the black laid down, and this is espresso. And then 90% French gray. And then putty beige. And as I keep going, you know, get a little more confident with the process, so it becomes kind of almost mindless, you know, as I color each section of the hair. So just kind of adding this in. Okay, yeah, I think I want to kind of flow downwards here. Starting with black. I used to not be a very big fan of coloring hair, but it's very challenging. Each time I color hair, I feel like I get a little bit better. And you know, the same with like coloring the clothes and the fabric. It didn't used to be my favorite, but now it's becoming like one of my most favorite things to do and to color. And just adding that espresso in there, and then 90% French gray, and then going in with putty beige to blend and highlight that hair. Let's work a little bit up here closer to the face. Now there are a lot of really tiny jewelry that's hanging down, so it is going to be a challenge, but I'm thinking about taking a gel pen and kind of dotting those tiny areas where the jewelry is kind of hanging on a chain, just to make that, you know, stand out a little bit better, because I know it's going to get covered up by doing the hair, so that'll just be one of the last things I do. But I'm going to try my best to spare the bigger part of the jewelry, but it is difficult sometimes when you're working with small things like that. Espresso, French gray, and then putty beige. One thing I'm excited about starting is her eyes. I think that it'll be fun to try to get them that light blue color. And I think part of this is kind of like a really fringy earring, So I'm gonna try, maybe while I see that, use Orchid on that so I can kind of pick that out from the hair. Because that is definitely looks like hair. This is why having that over there kind of helps. So that down. Maybe add a little bit of neon. Okay, so continuing on with the hair. I always get super nervous when I'm coloring next to the face, doing the hair, you know. I'm always afraid I'm going to get it up on there, but just being extra careful. And then we got espresso. And 90%. Go back in with a little more black. And then petty beige, or yeah, it's petty beige. For a second I thought I was using the wrong one. Okay. I'll do this section too. And then going in with espresso. And then 90%. And then maybe a little bit more touching up with the black. I feel like I'm making a huge mess around this jewelry. So I hope it ends up turning out okay. And then taking petty beige. Okay. Kind of clear it off a little bit and make sure I'm not getting anything on, any black on her face, because that would be awful. I'm really bad about doing stuff like that. So I do want to look at doing a section of the braid here. It's a very tiny braid, so I think I'm going to try and just keep it simple. Maybe make sure I got a sharp black. So I'm going to start by kind of outlining the braid. With the black color, and then just adding the tiny bit of this along each of the like corners. And then maybe going in with espresso. And then putty beige to blend it out. It's not going to be anything super intricate because it is such a small space. Take an espresso, and hopefully I'll kind of figure it out as I go on. Then putty beige. I think I like that. Get a little bit of a, just try and keep it simple, I guess, with it. I'm just going to try to do one of them with just the black and the 90% French gray to see if I like that better. I don't think there's really much difference, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. I might just stick with espresso. And really, you know, it probably wouldn't look much different if you just used black and nothing else. It'd probably still get the same effect. And I might try that. Just using black and nothing else. I think I do like that. But it does look quite a bit darker. Always kind of second guessing myself. So, and I will go in, like, see this section is done, and kind of really bring out those lines in that so that it does look a little bit more separated. And that way it kind of does still look very braided on top of her head here. Okay, my dog was being loud, so I just paused it for a minute. This is the same colors, you know, as before: black, espresso, 90% French gray, and putty beige. Right now I'm just using the black and the espresso to work on the small sections of the braid here. So I'm just going to take the black and kind of lay that out over here. And then going in with espresso, add that just a little bit more, and then putty beige, and I will go in and touch this up with the black once more. She also has a pretty substantial braid on the front part, kind of closer to her face, so maybe try to work on that. And then I'm going to take espresso and then finally putty beige. I really like that. I think it turned out nice. I don't want to color the wrong piece, so it's really hard to tell. Sorry, I gotta look at it a little bit closer. Okay, I think it's fine. I might have colored a little bit more braid, but this is a much larger image of that one, so they would be a little bigger, I would think. So we got that black down. I'm going to take espresso. I got it. And then putty beige to blend it out. I guess this is part of the braid as well. I'm going to take black, kind of outline that. And a little bit of it kind of sticking out over here underneath this flower petal. It's a very small space, so I'm just kind of adding those colors in there as best I can. So far I'm having a whole lot of fun coloring this. I know it feels like time's flying, but I know I've probably been doing this for like ever. And I didn't get a whole lot done so far, but I don't know, it's okay if it's a long video. I don't want to bore y'all with, you know, too much of doing the same thing, but just try to color, you know, a little at a time. And then this part of, yeah, this is also like a small section. Add that in there and then take putty beige to blend it. Kind of looking back and forth, make sure I'm still on track here and not wildly off course with this braid, because you gotta kind of pay attention to what's hair and what's flower, also what's part of her face. Okay, I think I got those braids done pretty well, the ones that kind of frame her face. Also go ahead and do this little section here. I didn't leave a whole lot of space for a highlight on this one. I didn't mean to, but that's okay. Take putty beige, just kind of go over in the center. Now there is the smallest piece of earring, I think, peeking through her hair here. So maybe that's right, I don't know. And then it kind of continues kind of back here behind her neck, or alongside her neck here. putty beige. Blend it out. Okay, we did get a lot of her hair done. I do want to work on doing the flowers. So I picked out a few colors. I know I want to blend them with the seashell pink, and then we have beige sienna, and then to add that little bit of pink color to it, I have nectar, and maybe this will work out. I think the darkest color I'm going to use is the beige sienna, and then nectar, and then the seashell pink to blend them all together. So I'm going to sharpen them real quick. That one looks pretty sharp, so. Alright, do make sure everything's cleared off there. So going in with beige sienna, I'm going to start on this part of the flower that's closer down to like the center part, and just kind of add the smallest amount of that. Because these don't have a lot of color on them, so there's a lot of like the seashell-y pink color. And then take a nectar very lightly, and these will end up looking quite a bit different. I didn't look up what these were. They almost remind me of like a magnolia flower, but I have no idea if that's what they are. So that's just my random guess. So then I have the nectar just very lightly laid down. I'm going to go in with seashell pink and kind of add that. But it still looks quite like covered up. So I'm going to also go in with white and see if I cannot tone that down a little bit and still have those colors show through, but not quite as intense. It's a learning process. Maybe I shouldn't start with the one that's directly in the center of her head, but oh well. I like it. I think it's turning out pretty good. So doing the same thing just to all the other petals, maybe being a little bit more light-handed than I was just now, taking beige sienna and just kind of laying that in the kind of shadowy areas, and then taking nectar, and again very lightly, and then seashell pink, and then blending them all together with white. And nectar. A little bit of seashell pink. And then blending it together with white. I like it. I know it's quite a bit different than, these, but, I think it's the best I can do. I'm trying to go in just a little bit lighter with all the colors. You really just want like kind of the suggestion of color on these, but try blending them with white. Taking beige sienna. And then going in with nectar. Seashell pink. Blending them out with white. Taking beige sienna. I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down everywhere that I want it to be. And then doing the same with the nectar. Oh, got a little too dark with that part, but that's okay. I do heavily rely on the white sometimes. To kind of tone down some of the colors. Okay, then going in with seashell pink. Adding that. And then just blending the whole thing out with the white. I'm really pleased how that turned out. I think it looks really cool. So for the center, it's a very small center, and I'm trying to look and see what it's got going on here. I guess I'll go in with a slightly green color, maybe like artichoke, and just kind of trace out that middle part of the middle part here, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of adding the smallest hint of that. And then it's kind of got like a yellow and then like red outline. Well, more like really deep pink color. So then I'm going to take Deco Yellow and go in the center here and find maybe a color that will match that little bit that's in there. It'd help if I get the right pencils out. Okay, so I might go in with mahogany red maybe and try that out. It's just very tiny here, so I'm just kind of trying my best to add that. So it's very tiny. I know it's probably impossible to see, but I just did the smallest amount of mahogany red to follow the like little smaller parts of the center of that flower, and I think it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how that flower turned out. I've got like a lot of pencils already piled up over here for this one page, but that's just how I do things when I color. So I'm thinking that I'll do a small amount of work on her face and then kind of maybe call this done. You know, I've made some pretty good progress with starting this page and I'm really excited about it, so I'm probably gonna finish working on this one off camera. But as far as her face goes, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Okay, I probably won't do too much work on her face today, but I got salmon pink, and I'm going to try my best to kind of outline her lips, because they don't really give you much to go on with line work as far as the lips and the nose go. And I forget about this. This is probably one of the reasons why I don't color in this very often, because it makes me nervous to figure this out really. So, okay, I gotta go this way with it. I'm gonna try to look in out here. Okay. I'm gonna try to kind of oh, it probably looks terrible. That's okay. Okay, we got something to work with at least for now, so maybe, I don't know, I'll fix it. It's definitely something I need to like be super up close with because it's very small, and so I might try to work on that. I guess I'll kind of do a tiny bit of salmon on her nose here. But I don't know. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and kind of go under her eyes here. Let's make sure I kind of clean this off a little bit. And I work on, when I do skin tone, I use the side of the pencil quite a bit, just so I can do a little bit more layering. It does take a little bit longer, but it's the best way for me to work on skin tone. I just like the lay down of the pencil better. And I'm just kind of going up under her eyes with salmon pink. Kind of along her corners of her eyes here. Maybe a little bit above her eyelid. It's a start. I don't know. I struggled with doing her face as well. But you know, I really didn't know what to do with her nose and her lips, but it turned out okay. So maybe she'll turn out okay too. It's just gonna take some time to kind of figure out what I want to do and to get those layers going, and then kind of once I get the layers showing up, maybe I can make more sense of, you know, what to do with her nose and lips. So I have salmon pink laid down. I'm going to go in with Deco Peach. And I'm just going to go around the outer edges of that salmon pink that I put down. And just kind of make my way around that a little bit at a time. And do the same for this side. It's probably like really hard to see that, but I'm trying to kind of to do it as faintly as it is over there, so I don't want to go in too strongly with any color. So I'm going to do kind of add that around her eyelids. Then might go in with a little bit of peach. maybe do the tiniest bit of shading kind of around her nose here. Do a little bit of peach around her hairline here. Trying real careful not to get any black on the pencil because it will kind of transfer. Okay, I think that's a good start with the face. I'm gonna go back in with salmon pink and add this kind of to the cheek area a little bit more, just building that up a little at a time. But I'm probably gonna have to figure out her lips and nose off camera because I don't know, it's going to take some concentration. I might go in with henna to kind of outline the center. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know. I think I already messed it up. It looks alright. I might have to erase some of that. So I have that down, and I might work on her eyes a little bit. They're extremely pale blue. So I'm gonna go in with light blue colors, maybe like turquoise, and then this turquoise, muted turquoise, and then light cerulean blue, and then just blend them out with white prisma color. Okay, so again, I'm going to take a closer look at her eyes here. So the only black part, or the more pupil-y looking part, are these little dots here. So I'm just going to add light cerulean blue along the lash line here. Then maybe a little bit of it along the edge of that right side of the eye. I'm going to go in with muted turquoise and just kind of fill in the rest of her iris, or eye part. Okay, and so then I'm just going to blend that out with white, and then call that done for now for the eyes, because they are very little, so there's really not too much that I want to do. So I'm going to take white and just kind of blend it together, and I will go back in and touch up certain areas like the darker parts, but I think that's a good start for the eyes. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do. It's probably a very long video just for getting this done, but that is exactly how long it takes me to do every little piece, you know, and I'm just very slow, you know, at coloring, and especially when it comes to starting a page. I think that's the slowest part and most time-consuming part for me, because I'm figuring out how exactly I want to lay out, you know, the colors of her dress and her hair, and eventually as the page progresses I get a little bit faster, but I had a lot of fun starting this page. I think it's turning out super cool. It's going to be definitely an issue trying to figure out how to color her face and, you know, do the lips and the nose, because they're just very subtle on this page and there's not much to go on as far as line art over here. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. But thanks so much for hanging out with me as I start this page, and until next video, bye y'all.